Let's talk about the PlayStation 6. It feels like the PS5 just came out, right? But guess what? There are whispers going around that the next PlayStation might be hitting shelves sooner than we all think, possibly as early as 2027. Now, before you start saving up, let's dive into what makes this potential release so interesting. If this 2027 date holds true, it actually lines up perfectly with Sony's usual pattern. Think about it. The PlayStation 4 came out in 2013, and then the PS5 landed 7 years later in 2020. So, a 2027 release for the PS6 would fit that same 7-year gap. It seems like Sony likes to stick to a pretty consistent schedule. And get this, the brains of the PS6, that little chip inside called the system on a chip, is apparently already finalized and being tested. They're even expecting to start making prototypes by the end of next year. That's a pretty big step, and from what people in the know are saying, it usually takes about 2 years from this stage to actually launching the console. So yeah, 2027 is looking more and more like a real possibility. But what's going to make the PS6 stand out? Well, it sounds like Sony is really pushing the boundaries with the tech inside. They're teaming up with AMD again, and the talk is about a brand new graphics system that's a big step up from what's in the PS5. We're talking about better graphics with less power needed. That's always a good thing. And here's something that might get you really excited. They're rumored to be using something called 3D V-Cache. Now, for those of you who remember waiting forever for games to load back in the day, this could be a game changer. Basically, it's like having super fast memory right there on the chip. That means way shorter loading times, smoother gameplay, and better performance in those big open world games or the ones with super detailed graphics. Sounds amazing, right? It's not just about raw power though. Sony is also apparently looking into putting machine learning directly into the graphics chip. What does that mean for us gamers? Well, it could seriously boost things like image quality, making games look even sharper and more detailed. Think of it like those fancy upscaling technologies you see on PCs. It could bring that kind of visual fidelity to consoles. As for the main processor, the CPU, they're looking at some of AMD's latest and greatest, which is a smart move. In the past, sometimes consoles had a powerful graphics chip, but a slightly weaker CPU, which could cause bottlenecks. A more balanced system in the PS6 could mean a smoother and more consistent experience across all types of games, from simple puzzles to those really demanding AAA titles. Now, with all this fancy new tech, there's bound to be a catch, right? And that's probably going to be the price. Building a console with all these cutting-edge components isn't going to be cheap, so we should probably expect the PS6 to have a pretty hefty price tag. Remember the discussions around the PS5's price when it came out? Well, it sounds like the PS6 could be even more expensive. And with many people still on PS4, or maybe just now getting a PS5, Sony will need to do more than just offer powerful specs to convince people to upgrade. Things like affordability and having a killer lineup of exclusive games might be just as important as all the technical bells and whistles. So there you have it. The PlayStation 6 might be closer than we think, potentially launching in 2027 with some seriously impressive technology under the hood. It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but we'll have to wait and see what Sony officially announces. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay up to date on all the gaming news, make sure to like, share and subscribe.